G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website kangaroocourtofaustralia.com. Now, Lachlan Murdoch and his company News Corp have been thrown under a bus by their own barrister, Sue Chrysanthou. Not once, but twice, and that happened in the last week or so, so I'm going to have a look at that. And towards the end I'll play an extract from the US 60-minute show where they've run a story on Dominion, who are suing Fox News and also Fox Corp, the parent company in the US, for billions of dollars. And another company, Smartmatic, is also suing them. It relates to false claims of vote rigging during the 2020 election, presidential election. So we'll have a look at that. But firstly, let's start off with Lachlan Murdoch being thrown under a bus by his own barrister. In the last couple of weeks, Lachlan Murdoch filed a notice of motion to have certain evidence by crikey thrown out. Now, last week, I think it was Friday, the judge in the matter handed down a judgment, and he raised an issue that is absolute dynamite. It's foot in the mouth sort of scenario. Sue Chrysanthou, in the written submissions for the matter, has said that Lachlan Murdoch denies that the article that Crikey published was in the public interest. But during the course of the notice of motion, interlocutory application, which has been heard in the last week or so, Sue Chrysanthou said it is in fact in the public interest. You can't dispute the article's in the public interest. So, and the judge pointed that out, not the barrister for Crikey, the judge actually pointed that out. So that's the polite way for the judge to say to Sue Chrysanthou, the barrister for Lachlan Murdoch, you're full of shit. So it's an ultimate insult. Now, I don't know why some of the media write up that Sue Chrysanthou is this red-hot barrister. She's not. She ends up with her foot in her mouth on a regular basis, and she doesn't have any real self-awareness, doesn't seem to look down the track one or two steps at all, because she stuffed up her own claim on behalf of her client, Lachlan Murdoch. Now, the second point is this. Sue Chrysanthou, not just last week, she said it a few times, that the government changed the laws, the defamation laws in recent times, last 12-18 months. Each state are gradually changing the laws themselves. Australia's had uniform defamation laws right across the country for about 10 or 15 years. And they've updated the laws, so each state has got to has been gradually updating the laws themselves. And one of the new laws they brought in, which the media companies wanted, is the defence of public interest. But Sue Chrysanthou told the court last week, and I think she's previously told the court, that the new public interest defence is a pup. It doesn't work. It's of no value. And she was saying that last week when she was representing Lachlan Murdoch against Crikey, because Crikey were running the public interest defence. She's saying, no, that doesn't work. That new one's a pup. They haven't thought it through properly. They haven't legislated it right. But the problem there is that might be great for her defending Lachlan Murdoch, but 90% of the lawsuits that News Corp are involved in, they're getting sued. Not 90%, probably 99%. They're the ones getting sued. So based on their own barristers' submissions, they're not going to be able to run a public interest defence, are they? Because Sue Chrysanthou said it's a pup. Anyone who is suing News Corp, if they try and run the public interest defence, well, they're just going to say, well, let's listen to News Corp's own barrister, Sue Chrysanthou. She said it's a pup, you can't run it. So, interesting times. How they come across employing Sue Chrysanthou is beyond me. She had to be restrained by the court itself from representing Christian Porter. That was only 12 months ago. And given the court had to restrain her, she didn't stop representing her on her own accord. So she's really got no self-awareness of what she's doing and what the public view is. Anyhow, let's have a listen to an extract from the US 60 Minutes. They've run a story on Dominion, who are suing Fox Corp and Fox News in the US.
For John Poulos and his company, the trouble began 5 days after the election when Fox Business host Maria Bartiromo brought up Dominion with attorney Sidney Powell.
Sidney, we talked about the Dominion software. I know that there were voting irregularities. Tell me about that.
That's to put it mildly. The computer glitches could not and should not have happened at all. That is where the fraud took place, where they were flipping votes in the computer system or adding votes that did not exist.
Sidney Powell was never able to show fraud, but she was repeatedly invited back on Fox networks, as was the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, who also wove a false narrative about Smartmatic, an election technology company which is now suing Giuliani, Fox News, and others.
Smartmatic is a company that was formed by 3 Venezuelans who were very close to the dictator Chavez of Venezuela. And it was formed in order to fix elections. That's the company that owns Dominion.
Does Smartmatic own Dominion?
No. We do have a relationship. We are competitors.
Were you associated with the late Hugo Chavez?
Absolutely not.
Do you use a Venezuelan company's software that's been used to steal elections in other countries?
Absolutely not. Anderson, I can cut all of this short. We were founded in Toronto, which is where my family was from, and there was nothing to do with Venezuela.
Can you flip votes in the computer system? Can you add votes that did not exist?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's very much looking like Judgment Day for News Corp, and there are other companies, Fox News and Fox Corp and Lachlan Murdoch and Rupert Murdoch. The whole business case, their business plan is to lie and tell more lies. And they've been able to get away with it for decades, but they've got some very powerful companies, very well-resourced companies suing them for big dollars. And by the looks of it, they're going to win. Dominion and Smartmatic, the 2 voting software companies in the US, where Fox News was saying they rigged elections, or they had the commentators on their shows saying they rigged elections. So if they get up, Dominion and Smartmatic, and they get billion-dollar claims in their favour, that might open the floodgates for a lot of other people to sue Fox, whether it be Fox News or the parent company Fox Corp. So it could end up being very, very costly for Rupert Murdoch and Lachlan Murdoch. And I think, and I wrote about it a few weeks ago, that is probably part of the motivation for suing Crikey to silence them, because they were running similar sort of arguments that Fox News was involved in telling a lot of lies about the presidential election. Now, I'll be publishing an article on this topic on Wednesday the 26th of October 2022 on my website kangaroocourtofaustralia.com. So make sure you visit the website tomorrow. And the Patreon account I set up roughly 8-9 weeks ago is currently at 217 supporters, so it is growing, which is good to see. So if you could support that, it'd be greatly appreciated. It helps fund these videos and my website, Kangaroo Court of Australia. You can donate, $3 a month, 5, 7, 10, 15, 20, whatever suits your budget. It all helps out. Most people can afford $3 or $5 a month. And please share this video on Facebook and Twitter, etc. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.